Hare Hare.
No, Prabhu. Please, you do.
श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की. किवा जयो जयो घोरा चंदे आरती को शोभा यो जयो घोरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जानवी ताटवनी जग मन लोभा जानवी ताटवनी जग मन लोभा तिबारा की निताय चंद बामे गदाधारा श्री काटे अद्वैता श्री वास छत्रधार इबादा की निताय चंद बामे गदाधरा निकाटे अद्वैता श्रीनी वास छत्रधार किवा बसियाचे गोराचन रत्ना सिंहासनी आरती कोरेन ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने किवा नर हरी आदि कोरी चमरढुलाए संजया मुकुंदा बसु घोष दिगाए शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मृदंगा मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला इवा बहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी वंदन उज्ज्वला देसे बनमा
सुका नारदा प्रेमे गदा गदा सुका नारदा प्रेमे गदा गदा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गोरारा संपादा भक्ति विनोदा देखे गोरारा संपादा शिव जय जय गोरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जय गोरा चंदे आरती को शोभा जानवी ताटवनी जगमन लोभा जानवी ताटवनी जगमन लोभा गौरंगे आरती शोभा जग जनमन लोभा गौरंगे आरती शोभा जग जनमन लोभा गौरंगे आरती शोभा जग जनमन लोभा गौरंगे आरती शोभा Jai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Premanande. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपस्ताय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामीति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रसाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे विष्णुति देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी आचार्यतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय गौर प्रेमानंदे.
Offer our respects. जय विश्वपाद ब्रह्मस प्रचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद भाई चनारु भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की. जय विश्वपाद ब्रह्मस प्रचार्य श्रोत्र श्री श्रीमद कृष्ण राष्ट्रपति भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की. रामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय. श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Prabhupada. Could you all please sit down for Nishinga prayers? We will conclude the Aarti ceremony.
Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Narasingaya. Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Prahlad Maharaj ki, Gaur Pramana.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming to Bhaktivedanta Manor. There's Mahaprasadam now being served in the reception. And we have a Bhagavad Gita class here in the temple room. The speaker's actually cancelled, but we'll play a class of Srila Prabhupada. So you're very welcome to stay. Hare Krishna. Hey, let's see.
Sorry.
On the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, 10th chapter, text number 2 and 3, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta.
Maharsaya. Maharsaya means the seven great sages. Their planet is near the pole star. You have seen it. That's like asking for the seven star. So these stars are different planets for different great sages. They also do not.
Given by His divine grace, A.C.
So,
Bhaktivedanta
Name
Swami
Sudagana Prabhavana Maharsaya. Aham
I don't know anymore. No, we
original
usually have Bhagavad Gita class, but the speaker cancelled last
and
minute, so I was
source
just going
of
to try and play a
all
class
these
on here, but
Maharsaya,
Oh no, that's
all
fine.
I seem
these
to work it
demigods.
out.
No, that's okay.
He
No,
is
worries.
the
Thank
father
you.
of
But
everything.
if you hang around 5 minutes, I might be.
Mahasinanda
It's
Sarva.
not playing.
I am not only the origin of these demigods, but I am also the origin of all these great sages.
Oh, I think
I
it is.
can't.
That means
It's
he is
because
the origin of this universe.
yeah, it is playing.
In the
Yeah.
Srimad Bhagavatam,
Hare Krishna, we now have class in the temple room, so
In
if
the
you need to have a
Srimad Bhagavatam,
conversation, maybe you can go
it
into
is
the
very
reception.
nicely
But you're very welcome to
described
stay and listen to class.
how
Thank you.
the universe
Hare
was
Krishna.
formed,
There
took
is
place,
a class going on
and
now, is it?
how
What
Brahma
Yeah,
was
now,
created,
right now?
here,
and
we're
from
going to have
Brahma,
Bhagavad Gita class. I'm just playing.
Who's going to
the
give the class?
rishis were
Srila
created,
Prabhupada.
I
how
mean, it's
population
on-
increased,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
generally,
It's,
these
yeah.
descriptions are there.
Which chapter is it from?
So
This is
actually,
chapter 10.
he
Wait,
is
let me
the
put it to the
origin.
start.
Janmadasya
Verses.
Jata.
Verses 2 to 3. Yeah.
Right now, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I just,
And the 9 o'clock art is usual, yeah?
yeah.
How population increased, generally, these descriptions. The rishis were created, how population increased, generally, these descriptions are there.
The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, 10th chapter, text number 2 and 3, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded in January 1967 in New York.
Name Vidusudagana Prabhavang Namaharsaya Ahamadidhi Devanang Maharsinancha Sarvasa. So Lord Krishna says that nobody knows him. Aham Adidhi Devanang. If you what to speak of the human society, even you take the demigods who are more intelligent and more advanced than the human society in other planets, they also do not know. And Maharsaya means that seven great sages, their planet is near the pole star. You have seen it, that's like asking question, seven stars. So these stars are different planets for different great sages. They also do not know. So, Name Vidusudagana Prabhavangana Maharsaya Aham Adidhi Devana. I am the original, I am the source of all these Maharsaya, all these demigods. He is the father of everything. Mahasinanja Sarva. I am not only the origin of these demigods, but I am also the origin of all these great sages. That means he is the origin of this universe. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very nicely described how the universe was formed, took place, and how Brahma was created, and from Brahma the rishis were created, how population increased, generally, these descriptions are there. So actually, he is the origin. Janmadhyasya jata, as it is said in the Vedanta Sutra, everything emanating from him. So, he is also, according to this version, he is also origin of Paramatma, the super soul. And he is also the origin of Nirvishesh or impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Because it is said, Aham Adivi Devanang Maharsinang cha Sarvas. Sarvasa means anything that you have any conception of all them, I am the Supreme Soul. So therefore, as it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is realized in three phases. That Vadanti tat tattavida satyam jat jnanam advayam. Advayam means non-duality. What? The one supreme truth, absolute truth is realized in three phases. Brahmeti, Paramatmiti, Bhagavaniti sabdati. Realization and impersonal Brahman, or the glowing effulgence, just like sunshine. Then the localized super soul. Then Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are many expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan, Adaukkhaja. There are many innumerable planets in the spiritual world, and all of them are emanation from the Krishna planet, and the Krishna planet, the Supreme Deity is Krishna. This description we have got in several Vedic literatures, Brahma Samhita, and Vedanta Sutra, and Bhagavad, in Puranas, in Upanishads, everywhere these descriptions are there. Those who are scholarly students, they will get information, and the whole thing is summarized in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is known also as Gita-Upanishad. At the end of every chapter, you will find these things are written, Gita to Upanishads. It is one of the Upanishads. You have read Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita is also one of the Upanishads, and therefore Bhagavad Gita is known as Gita Upanishad. So, if nobody knows the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then how he can be known? If he is not known to the demigod, if he is known to the great sages, then how he can be known? Yes, he can be known. He can be known in this way. When the Supreme Lord comes before you and he reveals himself before you, then he can. You cannot know by your imperfect senses. Our senses are imperfect. Several times we have described in this meeting that our senses cannot realize the Supreme Truth. Atas Krishna namadi nabhavet gahyam indriyai. Our senses are so imperfect, and simply by expanding the sense power artificially, speculating, we cannot realize. These are described in different way in different scriptures. So he can be known. How? That is also described. Sevanamukhihi jivhadu sameva spudattava. When you become in a submissive attitude and you chant jivhadu. Jivhadu means the realization begins from the tongue. God realization begins from the tongue. Therefore, the tongue's function is to eat and to vibrate, sound. So these two processes, vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and eating Krishna Prasad. You cannot allow your tongue to taste anything and everything. If you can control your tongue for eating Krishna Prasad, and if you engage your tongue in vibrating the transcendental sound, Hare Krishna, then Sevanamahite Jivhago, by this submissive process, that I surrendered my tongue to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then by controlling the tongue, he is controlling all other senses. You go to a straight line from the tongue to the down, all senses will be controlled. And if you cannot control your tongue, then you cannot control your senses. So the first and foremost thing is that you control your tongue. Don't allow your tongue to taste everything and anything. Krishna has given us so many nice preparations. Day before yesterday, we are present here, we had tasting, everybody who had tasted, so many nice things we have got. Krishna Varadhaman, Parivare Vyuhajaya Saprasad Annadilapaya. Our tongue is very fastidious. He wants to taste this. But Krishna is so kind that he gives us varieties of prasadam. So you can taste them, you can satisfy your desire. At the same time, you become spiritually advanced. This is a nice process. This is not that in this association you have to do this. You can learn this art and you can have it in your home. You can also prepare such preparation, nice preparation at your home, offered to Krishna. That is not very difficult. We every day prepare and offer to Krishna and chant the mantra, Namo Brahmanna Vivaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Jagat Bhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo. That's all. It is not very hard. Everyone can prepare this food stuff and offer it to Krishna and then take it, and then with family members or with friends, you can sit down and chant before the picture of Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and live a pure life. Just see the result. If every home, every person takes to this principle of understanding Krishna, it will become, the whole world will become Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means where there is no anxiety. Vaikuntha, Vai means without, and Kuntha means anxiety. This world is full of anxiety. Sada samadvijna dhiya asadgraha. Because we have accepted this temporary existence of material life, therefore we are always encumbered with anxiety. Just the opposite thing is there in the spiritual world, where the planets are called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means without anxiety. We want to be free from anxiety. Everyone is trying to get himself free from anxiety, but he does not know how to get out of this anxiety. This taking shelter of intoxication is no use to get oneself free from anxiety. It is a drug. It is oblivion. Sometimes, for some time, you forget everything. But again, when you come to a consciousness, the same anxiety and same thing are there. So this will not help you. If you want to be free from anxiety, and if you want actually life eternal with bliss and knowledge, then this is the process. This is the process. You have to understand Krishna. Here it is clearly stated that Name Vidu Suragava, nobody can understand. But there is a way. Sevanukhihi jivadu swami vasprasana. This is a process. There are several places in Srimad Bhagavatam, this process is described in a different way. Just like in one place, it is stated that Jnani prayasam mudapasyanamantaiva sanmakharitang bhavadiyavartam jivanti sanmakharitang bhavadiyavartam thane stita sutigatang tanvang manovi je prayasa adita jita prasistai sirapyam. It is very nice verse. It is said that Ajita, nobody can know. God's another name is Ajita. Ajita means nobody can conquer. Nobody can approach him. That's what his name is, Ajita. So Ajita becomes conquered. Ajitopi jitopasi. Although the Lord is unknowable, the Lord is unconquerable, still he is conquered. How? Nastai thane sthita. Persons, let them remain in their own position, but adopt this principle. What is that? The principle is the jnana prayasam mudapasya. Give up this nonsense speculation, volumes of books. The world is producing every year volumes of books, and they are useless. After 6 months, the reviews are thrown. So, don't take to that speculative process. This way and that way, this way and that way. Because our senses are limited. How you can have the supreme truth known by these imperfect, blind senses? So, my senses, my speculative power may be greater than you, and another person's speculative power may be greater than me, but nobody can. Here it is clearly stated, Name Suraganavi. What you are human being, even the Suraganavi will be great for the second. Therefore, the Brahma says that Jnani Prayasam Mudapasya. Give up this process of so-called knowledge, researching, speculation. Give up. Udapasya means throw it out. Jnani Prayasam Mudapasya namantaiva. Namanta means just become submissive. Just acknowledge yourself that your senses are limited, you are subordinate even to the material nature, and what to think of God. Everyone is subordinate to the control of the Supreme Lord. Maya dhakshena prakriti satarasanam. Nobody can be equal or greater than God. Therefore, your qualification should be submissive. Don't waste your time in speculation. Be submissive. Jnana prayasam mudapasya namantaiva and sanamukharitang bhavadiyava. Sanamukharitang means just try to hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord from the mouth of realized soul. Don't go to the unauthorized person. Now how you can know what is the difference between unauthorized and authorized? That you can know also. There is description. That is Bhagavad Gita. You see, he is authorized, he is not authorized. The Lord says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajasayaviju. This authority is handed over by disciplic success. So that's like Krishna is handing over the authority to Arjuna. And Arjuna says, the param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan. So if we follow the Arjuna's process, and if we try to understand as Arjuna understood, then the authority is there. It's not very, very difficult to understand who is authority. So sthana sthita sutigatang sunumang manubhihi. Yes. Jnana prayasam mudapasya namantaya sanmukha. You have to find out that authority. That's all. That authority you have to find out and remain in your place and try to hear submissively everything. Sameva surattava. As soon as you become submissive and hear from authority, then the whole thing is revealed within yourself. God is always ready to be revealed to you But how does he reveal? He reveals as soon as you become submissive, you become devotee, you become Krishna conscious, you just follow the path traversed by the great Mahajans, great Acharyas, then it is everything known. Although he is not known even to the demigods, even to the great sages, he can be known to you at your home. Aditopi jitapasi, although he is unconquered. If you adopt this process, so you have to adopt the process. Otherwise, if you don't adopt the process, there is no alternative. You cannot know, because greater personalities than us, than the human society, the Suragana means the demigod, they cannot know. And if you follow this principle to understand the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, then what will be the result? It is stated here. Jumam ajam anadincha besi loko mahestaram asanmura samatkeshu sarva papai pramachyata. Sarva papai pramachyata. As soon as you understand thoroughly, you can understand thoroughly. This is the process. And how you understand? The standard of understanding, is that the Supreme Lord is Anadi. He is the cause of all causes, but he is not caused by any other cause. He has no other cause. Just like Krishna is stated, Ishara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Karana means cause. And he is the cause of all causes. To understand Krishna, the Supreme Lord, is to thoroughly be convinced that he is the cause of all causes. Jumam Anadi. Anadi means he has no other cause. Sarvaloka Maheshwara. And he is the proprietor. He is the master, he is the proprietor of all planets, either in this material world or in the spiritual world. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Asangamula, not accepting blindly. Don't accept blindly. God has given you power of reasoning, power of arguments, but don't argue falsely. The process is, that is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. If you want to understand the transcendental science, then you have to follow this principle. What is that? Tadvidhi pranipatena. You have to surrender, the same thing. Just like Namantava, unless you become submissive, you cannot be a surrendered soul. And where? The pranipat. Where you will find a person that here is a person where I can surrender. Then that means you have to make a little test where to surrender. That much knowledge you must have. Don't surrender to any nonsense. You have to know how that intelligent and nonsense can be found out. That is also mentioned in the Psalm. That is mentioned in the Kathopanishad. Tadvidhi pranipatena Kathopanishad says that tadvijnanatham sa gurumeva avigapse sotryam brahmanishtam. This sotryam means that one who is coming in disciplic succession. And what is the proof that he has come under the disciplic succession? Brahmanishtam. Brahmanishtam means he is fully convinced about the Supreme Absolute Truth. So there you have to surrender. Pranipat. Pranipat means pakishya rupena nipatam. No reservation. If you find out such person, then surrender. Yes, pranipat. And try to serve him, try to please him, and question him, the whole thing. You have to find out such an authoritative person and surrender him unto Him. Surrendering unto Him means surrendering unto God, because He is God's representative. But you are allowed to make questions, not to waste time, but to understand. That is called purification. These are the process. So everything is there. We are simply to adopt it. But if we don't adopt the process and simply waste our time by intoxication and speculation and all nonsensical activities, that is not possible ever. You'll never understand what is wrong. Because God is ununderstood. It's not understandable by the demigods and by the great sages. What will be our senior cause? So, these are the processes. And if we follow a samamula, if you follow these principles and slow but sure, samamula, without any doubt, if you that is the prataksham abhagavantam. If you follow, you'll understand yourself. Yes, I am getting something. It is not that you are in blind. You are blindly following. As you follow the principles, you will understand. Just like if you eat proper nourishing foodstuff, you will feel yourself strength and your hunger satisfied. You haven't got to ask anybody. You will feel yourself. Similarly, if you come to the proper path and if you follow the principles, you will understand. Yes, I am making sense. So, Prattakham, in the 9th chapter, here says, Prattakham avagavam dharma susukham. And it is very easy. You can be in happy mood. And what is the process? You chant Hare Krishna and eat Krishna Prasad and study Bhagavad Gita philosophy. Hear nice musical sound. Is it very difficult? Is it very difficult? Not at all. So by this process, you will be asamamula. Nobody can cheat you. But if you want to be cheated, there are so many cheaters. So don't make a cheater and cheated society. Just follow the parampara system that is prescribed in Vedic literature, as it is recommended by Krishna. Try to understand it from the authoritative source and try to apply it in your life. Then asamamudha samattesu. Samattesu means, matta means those who are eligible for dying, who are this conditioned souls, beginning from Brahma down to the insignificant end. They are all mattya. Mattya means there is a time when they will die. Mattya means there is a time when they will die. The mattesu, amongst the dying mortals, he becomes the most intimate. Asangamura, samattesu. Why? Sarva papi vimucchate. He is free from all kinds of reactions of sinful actions. In this world, in this material world, I mean to say, knowingly or unknowingly, we are always committing sinful acts. So we have to get out of these reactions. And how to get out of it? That is also said in the Bhagavad Gita, Jajyartha karmannatra lokan karmavanna. If you do act only for Krishna, Jagga means Vishnu or Krishna. If you only act for Krishna, then you are free from the reaction of any subhasura, follow. We do something auspicious or inauspicious. But those who are in Krishna consciousness and acting in that way, he has nothing to do with what is auspicious or inauspicious, because he is in touch with the most auspicious Krishna. So therefore, sarva papa vipramuchyate, and he becomes free from all the essence of sinful activities. So this is the process. And if we adopt this process, so ultimately we can get in touch with Krishna and our life becomes successful. The process is very simple and everyone can adopt. Thank you.